Hi, it's Mary Kay from Backbone Valley Nursery, once again talking to you about weed control. So many people out there wanting to control weeds in their lawns, and there's really a lot of information you need to know before you get a start. We have different types of weeds. The most important thing is to identify your weeds. Now, we put a pre-emergent down, which means something that prevents the weed seed from germinating. We put it down in February for cool, warm season weeds, and in September for cool season weeds. Well, how do we know what weeds we're going to control? What I would recommend is right now, get out there with your camera, get some good pictures of those weeds. Those are the weeds that have been growing all winter. They're cool season weeds. They're the ones that you want to control in September. So unless you know what they are, you're not going to have a good chance to get a hold of them and get control. So take some pictures now. Your warm season weeds will be coming up March, April, May, and throughout the summer. When that happens, go out there and document those as well. Take pictures of your warm season weeds. We want to be able to identify them. Why do we want to identify them? We want to know whether they're annual weeds or perennial weeds. Annual weeds are the most easy to control because they complete their life cycle in one season and then they die. The only way that they come back is by the seed that they produce. So if we put down a pre-emergent, meaning preventing seeds from germinating, in February, we prevent annual warm season weeds from coming up. Easy peasy. That's where you get your sticker burr control. The field sandburr is an annual weed. If you do a good application of a pre-emergent in February, water it in with a ½ inch of water to activate it, you're not going to have the problem with the sticker burrs anymore. The perennial weeds are the ones that we really have trouble with because their root systems, their stolons, the plant survives year to year. The pre-emergent is not going to do anything to control those at all. So we need to find a selective post-emergent herbicide. Selective means it won't kill your lawn grass, but it will kill the broadleaf weed. We do not have a chemical now that kills grassy weeds in lawns. We lost MSMA a few years ago. It's no longer available to the consumers. But we do have some very good post-emergent broadleaf weed controls. So when do we want to address those? Well, timing is everything, as I've always said with weed control. With the pre-emergence, preventing the weed seeds from germinating, we want to put it down, obviously, before the weed seeds germinate. With the post-emergent and killing the weeds after they've come up, they're going to be most affected when they are newly formed leaves before they bloom because their physiology changes and they're not going to be as reactive to the herbicide at that point. So the younger the weed, the better control. The older the weed, you're going to have to be persistent and make multiple applications. So identify your weeds, find out whether you have annual weeds or perennial weeds, and approach them from the appropriate method. Annual weeds, pre-emergent, perennial weeds, post-emergent. Post-emergence, I recommend getting a concentrate, mixing it in a pump sprayer, writing herbicide only on that pump sprayer, and spot treating. We don't need to spread herbicide over our entire lawns. Our tree roots are under the entire lawn. That's why the weed and feed fertilizers are so horrific. Do not use a weed and feed product. They're not appropriate for Central Texas. We don't even fertilize the same time we control weeds, so you're wasting your money. Come in and see us. Find out one of our post-emergent weed controls. This Fertilome Weed-Free Zone is a very good one. You will mix it up according to directions. You will spot spray the existing weeds only. You don't have to spray the whole lawn. You do want to be sure that you have mowed the lawn several days before so the weeds have had a chance to put on some new growth. And you spray the lawn and then watch to see what dies. You may have to come back and it will say on the label, which you need to read, how long between applications you need to wait. Usually it's a couple of weeks. But you can get good control with your existing weeds by being persistent and using the correct product. Know your weeds, guys. It really makes a difference. This is Mary Kay at Backbone Valley Nursery.